Hey, now that I've had some time to get my thoughts together and stop being edgy, I have some thoughts I'd like to share about the new Berserk chapters that have released since Miura's untimely death. I'd like to start by saying that my despondence in the last video came from a few different places. Number one, Miura's death really did hit hard, especially with the beautiful memorial comic that Koji Mori wrote after he died. Number two, I was reading a not fantastic translation of the new chapters, so all the dialogue felt pretty stilted and awkward. That contributed to the feeling that everything I loved about Berserk really was gone. And number three, the art style change was indeed pretty drastic, but let's talk about that for a bit. Is it really fair to expect Koji Mori to be able to replicate Miura-san's style at all? No, of course not. Come on. However, let's take that a step further. Is it fair to expect him to figure out his own way of drawing Berserk so soon? No, actually, we can't. Miura-san didn't have it figured out until some ways into the Golden Age, right? But now, as we can clearly see, Mori-san, he's starting figuring this shit out. Chapter 371 came out since the last video, and these panels right here are nothing short of bussin'. Mori-san is really starting to get a handle on how he should draw these characters, I think, and while I don't think we'll ever get the genuinely stupid level of environment detail that Miura gave us, in exchange for that, we're probably going to get chapters at a more regular basis, and that's a pretty fair trade. Back to my dour mood in the last video, though. I was definitely underestimating how much the actual in-story events were affecting me. Spoilers for chapter 371 and below. Guts literally losing the most important person in his life and swinging his sword, aka his rock, around helplessly, followed by Elfheim collapsing into the sea, losing many new friends, including Yzma, god damn it, and collapsing in a ship cabin from pure despair and dismay is all, pretty heavy stuff. We've never seen Guts this beaten before, not even after the eclipse. He's never felt this helpless and powerless. It's all genuinely awful for him, Casca, and the others. It's also strangely reassuring for the readers. Let me explain. I think it's a pretty well-known fact now that much of Berserk was inspired by Miura-san's real-life experiences. If you want to know more about that, I suggest go watching Super Eyepatch Wolf's video Why You Should Still Read Berserk, if you already haven't. This element of Berserk, though, is another reason why it was so questionable if this story could live on without its original author. The thing is, though, doesn't all of this feel familiar? Doesn't this tragedy, losing someone this important to you, ring true? Look, I know Miura-san had always intended for this to happen in the story, and yeah, it may be coincidence, but even if so, I think Mori-san is channeling that pain, that loss, into the story. Guts losing Casca is a tremendous loss, one that leaves him truly not knowing what the future holds for him. This is how the entire Berserk community felt when losing Miura-san, right? And doubly how Mori-san must have felt. I don't think Berserk will ever be as personal to Miura-san anymore. That'd be impossible. He's dead. But I think it can still feel incredibly personal, even if it's to someone else. And I think these last few chapters are proof of that. I mean, let's just see this as a reset, right? I mean, something I loved when reading Berserk was seeing Miura improving his skill as I read. And now we get to do that again with Mori-san. I really look forward to it in the coming years. I think I'm starting to see why Miura left this responsibility to him. He seems to really be understanding what's at the heart of Berserk, and the personal emotion that has to come with it. I hope both the community and the characters can look back at this loss and know that things got better. It was tough, but they got better. And that's why we keep struggling, isn't it? I may make a bigger video about Berserk in the future, or maybe a podcast with Carter or Caden, or both, since they've both started reading it. In the meantime, though, I hope you all have a happy holiday season. We've got some fun stuff cooking for you, and be sure to follow the Twitter and join the Discord link below. Keep it flaccid.